Welcome back to Caves of Qud. I'm Arima, and starting off where we were last time, we are in Gritgate, um, the home of the Barathermites. We had just talked to Otho here, and spoken to him about bringing back a repaired Waydroid. We've bought his trust with this initial action, and he wants to talk to us about this signal that the Barathermites have found. The signal is a repeat transmission being broadcast from an unknown source. It's been live for over a year. One of our tinkers, Q-Girl, discovered it while reading a long-wave detector. Unfortunately, it's encrypted, and we do not have the means here to decrypt it. You may have some help in this matter, however. We've long known the location of a fully functioning Beetle within the bowels of the Great Hall of Bethesda Souza. The Mechanimists have consecrated the site around it and built a temple there. Q-Girl claims to have developed a means to decrypt the symbol, but she needs the computing power of the Beetle. If you can infiltrate the Mechanimist compound, you may be able to engage the Beetle and decode the signal. What is a Beetle? They are antique stones located in certain places deep within the caverns of Qud. We believe they are some sort of hyper-advanced machines built by the Eaters. One claims, excuse me, often one claims to possess a sentience of its own. However, most of them have gone haywire in the eons since their creation. Indeed, it is rare to discover one whose circuitry is wholly uncorroded. The Mechanimists worship this one as an idol, and they will protect it at all costs. You will need to find a way through to their host of the Beetle itself. Do you believe you may accomplish this task? Yes, I do. Good, apprentice. Speak to Q-Girl in the workshop. She'll encode her instructions for the Beetle on a copy of the disc. There's one more thing. The Beetle is located beneath the ancient cryobarrios of the Eaters. Time has worked to erode the mechanisms that contain their cryogenic mist. That freezing vapor billows out of the chambers freely now, cooling the entire cavern. You'll want to procure warm clothing to protect yourself. The spoils of the Mechanimists are yours to keep. Remember, apprentice, Barathrum will look kindly upon your service. I will return with the data, steward. I've received a stamped disc and the new quest, the coding signal. And we're going to come talk to Q-Girl if we can find her. Oh, it looks like it's nighttime. So I'm going to come over here and zoom out a little bit so I can move around a little bit faster. There's this machine over here, which as a mutant I can't really interact with. You are no aristocrat. Goodbye. If you are one of the eaters, sorry, if you're one of the people, one of the purebloods, you can actually use that here in the grid gate area to augment yourself. I don't have any right now, but you will find these cybernet chips. They're like credit card chips, basically, and they'll say an amount of money that they have on them. You can pay that machine there, that money plus a cybernetic augment in order to augment yourself. There's also a mod that's called the Equity Tonic that I normally run, but unfortunately we're running the betas and the mod doesn't work, that allows mutants to do it as well, just because it adds, sure, it makes your character more powerful, but it also adds a lot of interesting stuff that you can do. I'm going to talk to Q-Girl here. Q-Girl is probably the most famous character from this game because everyone fucking loves her. She is fantastic. She's even the cover art for the Discord. Quetzal, Quetzal, Quetzal. Welcome to the workshop, friend. What does Quetzal mean? It is a word I say out of excitement, sort of a semantic extension of the feeling I get when I see a Quetzal. Oh, a Quetzal is a pretty bird in the Trogon family. I tend to incorporate things I like into my idiolect. Your hair is a quasar of red, ochre, and indigo. Quetzal! Thank you, thank you. What a poetic metaphor. You're a regular Shakespeare, aren't you? There must be 100 gadgets around here. What are you working on? Oh, Quetzal. A wave shortener for the shortwave detector, a frustrum pulley for the ion lathe, and a thrice retro-threaded M-band, and a dissertation on the illegitimacy of power. Quetzal. Moving on, Ortho informs me that you have a method for decoding the signal. Can you encode your instructions on the Betel for me onto this disk? I do, brave friend. I'll print them now. Thank you, Teodoro. She takes that stamped disk, encodes the instructions, and I'm going to talk to her one more time because I would like to do the water ritual with her. She wants to teach me high energy thermotasks. I have no idea what that is, so I'm just trying to ask her to share me a secret. She told me of a location of some ruins. Do it again. The location of Nazokisk. No idea what that means. We will see about looking into that. So I don't think. Let me actually double check before we go off on our merry way. Yes, I don't think this quest is not level rewarded. One thing I'm going to warn you is that there is good reason to rush up until this point of the game because you do get a better reward for coming here early. It is this Masterwork Scoped Carbine Rifle. I don't know what level. I think it's like 14 or something like that. You'll stop getting this and you'll get something weaker. But this next quest, going to Bethesda Susa, is infamously hard. So what I'm going to do, because I don't really want to just show you guys me dying trying to get through Bethesda Susa over and over again, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a little bit of side questing, exploring, find some of the randomly generated areas. I'm going to go to the Sit-Stay Stilt, which is in the north, in the desert. That's also where the Mechanimist's home is, and there's an option where I could potentially befriend them instead of attacking their temple. And I haven't decided which way I'm going to go yet on that. But uh, this is kind of a moment where you have very good reason to take advantage of the open world and branch out. Because if I went to Bethesda Susa right now, I can tell you for a fact I am going to be obliterated. I would not be able to make it to the bottom of Bethesda Susa. So there is around here, yeah, there is some beds. I'm going to examine these real quick because if I risk damaging them. Is there anywhere nearby? There is someone nearby. Whenever there's no one nearby, I'll investigate these. The other thing is that I have good standing with these guys now, so I'm actually going to loot all their medical lockers, and they won't mind one bit. And then I'm going to take a moment to, so that's a rubber gum. That's a useful like anti-status effect thing. Sphinx salt makes me something to do with I don't remember exactly Sphinx salt and shade oil. Shade oil I think makes you effectively invisible. Sphinx salt we'll have to check what it does again because I actually don't remember. Love injector is decent and Hulk honey is decent. So from the top here, so just to let you guys know what I have, because these potions actually these injectors are actually fairly important. I'm just bad at using them because I have the tonic allergy. So Blaze Injector basically is really good against heat, but it also makes me really weak to cold. And if you stop moving, I think you catch fire. Fun stuff. Hulk Honey makes you have incredible strength and you start regenerating massively, but you get basically it turns you into the Hulk. You lose a lot of movement speed. You can't feel pain, which I believe means that you can't see how much HP you have. You're immune to fear, but you also suffer 1% of your maximum HP in damage each round. So you are regenerating, but you're also losing HP rapidly. Love Injector is kind of difficult to use unless you get to the injector shooting thingy. But if you inject someone else, they'll fall in love with you for a huge amount of time, and they'll just kind of follow you around, and they might take orders from you depending on who they are. And then Rubber Gum makes you basically immune to electricity, very resistant to cold, but it lowers your armor value and makes you resistant to being restrained, but lowers your resistance to bleeding. Basically, it turns you into bubblegum. Take half damage from bludgeoning, half damage from falling, can't be grabbed, etc. You basically become Luffy from that one bad anime. Hot take. Salve is a healing potion. Salve injectors, ones that you guys will see me use a lot in basically oh shit situations. Shade oil, oh yeah, it's not actually stealth. You phase out into another dimension. And then Skulk, yeah, Skulk is the one that gives you the ability to see at night. You can burrow, and I guess it doesn't actually do anything that makes you better at stealth. It's just like it's better to use at nighttime. And then the last one that that we have here is Sphinx Soul. You become immune to confusing attacks, really good against fighting psychic characters. And then your activated mental mutations cool down twice as fast. We don't actually have any activated mental mutations right now. And I say right now because there is ways to get more mutations. But it'd be good once we have them. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to. Yeah, I'm not allowed to open those chests because that's actually the shop right there. I'm gonna go ahead and hit auto explore real quick. Oh, hey, one of their beds was engraved. It has a story with one of the other sultans on it, and I learned some of the sultan histories. I also learned the location of Shapur. And another painted bed. Wow. These guys painted a lot of stories on their beds. A force modulator, that is a... Oh yeah, something else I should mention. Every time one of you you find one of these eater upgrade stations, they will have a little bench next to it. This thing, the cybernetics rack, and they will almost always, if it's the first time you found one, they almost always have a cybernetics in them. I'm gonna go ahead and sell this cybernetics to this guy. Everyone here is also a merchant, by the way, so something to keep in mind. Stamp data disk. I'm gonna sell my Issachar rifle because it doesn't do me much good anymore. And then I'm gonna sell the implant as well. And do you have anything? You don't. Do you have anything to store my money? Neither of them have anything that helps me store my money. I'm gonna go ahead and eat their porridge. And check to see. He doesn't either. This guy's worth checking every once in a while because he sells a bunch of random stuff that comes in as food. And there's some pretty... Oop, I'm actually going to buy his slugs. There's some pretty good stuff that he sells sometimes. I'm not going to talk to everyone in town here just because it would actually take a very long time. They all have a pretty great, a pretty large amount of dialogue. And the dialogue is actually very well written. Are you Mafio? Yeah, I'm gonna wake up Mafio here and then trade with him. Sorry, but like, my time is more important than yours. And you can sleep all the time. You live in one of the safest places in Qud. He does not have anything either. Well, that's annoying. I'll wake up Asepa because I don't remember what she trades. She or they. I don't actually know their gender. Not going to assume it. Okay, I think we're done here. I am going to use, just to get out of here faster, I'm going to use my Grit Gate Recoiler. And I'm going to check with the merchants back here super fast before I go on my journey properly. Some weird artifacts. Copper nuggets, that's what we're looking for. And there's some injectors that I don't really care about, so I'm going to sell them real quick. Skulk, Shade, Love... And I'll hold on to the Sphinx because I don't have a lot of resistances to psychic attacks. So, and we're going to buy his large slugs because this carbine you'll see very soon is going to just go through slugs just very quickly. We don't need the Dormant Way Droid anymore, which I tried to sell earlier and then didn't realize that I sold it before I actually finished the quest. And then... On this playthrough, did we grab the pilgrimage? Yes, we did. So we're going to take that pilgrimage right now. Can you identify all these for me? Just so that I know what they are in the future whenever I run across them. Let's have plenty of money. So those are all implants. It's not useful to me. But there is a basic toolkit. Have we picked up a toolkit yet? So a toolkit basically increases the chance of recovering additional bits whenever you disassemble artifacts. Which, as a future tinkerer, is going to be very useful for us. I don't think he has anything else terribly useful. I kind of want that blaze injector recipe. Ooh, radio-powered injector, or a recipe. I don't think we can use this anytime soon. It's Tinker level 2. It's going to be a while before we use this. But the nice thing about that is that these recipes are really, really lightweight. So we're going to go ahead and buy this off of him. And I just realized that I should sell back... I'm going to sell back the lacquered bracelet. Because I need enough water on me at all times in order to make sure that I don't die from dehydration. So this radio powered, it goes on to you can mod various items of it, and anything that takes power that says radio powered basically is going to be, it's going to be like solar powered, but it's going to be at all times because there's latent radio waves like everywhere, and I think it's even several layers deep into the surface as well. So even at nighttime and a couple layers deep into the underground, you'll get radio powered, and there's going to be some spots underground as well that I've noticed in the past where you get hot spots where radio powered is going to recharge. It'll recharge all of your items. So the only problem with radio powered is that it doesn't recharge very fast. So the only time it's really useful is like on recoilers, where they use a large amount of energy, but you only ever use them once, every once in a while. Okay, so our choices here is every single time you see one of these, I'm gonna hold Alt here to see all of my possible destinations, and it kind of helps me filter out the noise here. So these stars are locations that we've been told about. The yellow locations are locations that are actually permanently on the map at all times. Um, and this up here is the Sit Stay Stilt. I do want to go there, but I actually want to go here first. And if you've never played this game, this will be a little bit of something. Did I just get lost immediately? I did. There's a bunch of things shooting fire at each other. I'm just going to run off the north side of the map here and investigate ruins nearby. Sure. Discovered Forgotten Ruins. Where am I? I am in... It just says Forgotten Ruins. I guess I don't... Ooh, hey. That right there is an upgrade station. So we're going to move over to that upgrade station right away. We can't get in, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold shift and beat down this wall right here. And take the weird artifact. Night vision implants. And force modulators. Are those... Oh, they're both very, very light. Good. Ooh, there's another one right here. What did I just pick up? Folding chair. So I'm gonna treat these as scrap in the future. There's an option here saying treat as scrap. Folding chairs, I don't think have a purpose for me. And that's a pentaceps. Nice. So this is like some sort of, like, an old eater. Oh, I should probably explain what I'm saying. The eaters are basically the people who came before all of this. They are technologically advanced humans, and they are called the eaters because them and their technology ate the world. They're basically responsible for the world going to shit. So they're called eaters. At least that's the impression I've gotten from... Oh man, that new animation is pretty nice. You can really tell what's going on. You can also tell that I'm missing like crazy. Why is my 3 button here not working? They updated the game, and I'm kind of wondering now if during the update they might have messed with something a little bit. Got a weird... Ooh, a freezing dagger with a chem cell in it. Thank you very much. Yeah, my 3... Actually, none of my hotkeys are working. So I'm going to see if I can rebind them real quick and see if that will get past them. We're back. There was some... Just in case you run into the same issue, they're in team mapping and all the way down here in your ability bar. These were pre-bound to 1 to 10, but I couldn't figure out how to use them anyway, so I went ahead and unbound them so that I can bind my abilities using the A button here. Bind my abilities myself. But I ended up getting it working. So let's go ahead and continue. So my marked target now is working again. Don't go ahead and take that electrified dagger because I can take it apart and I can take the battery out. Which, for now, the battery is kind of a big deal for me. Ironically shot your friend. Okay, so... The carbine, I am learning, now that I can see the aim a lot better than I used to be able to, is kind of a shorter range weapon. We're going to go ahead and remove these cells. Oh, hey, there's a way to just straight up disassemble the cell now. And then they're bronze daggers, so they're not super valuable, I don't think. We're going to go ahead and drop them and disassemble all of these rifles. We can't actually make anything right now, because we don't actually have... I don't think, at least... Did we actually end up taking any tinkering? Short blade is fine. That's tinkering. No, we don't even have a level 1 tinkering yet. Oh yeah, we're lost. I completely forgot. So we're going to head back up this way, and we're going to head into here. So this is an old mine that is covered in tar. I would say that if you were to come here, make sure you have some sort of movement ability before you come here. I have the jump, which is going to be useful, but you'll see in a moment why having a movement ability is pretty important. We're looking for the entrance. There's going to be an entrance somewhere around here that leads down. There it is. So every once in a while we're going to get stuck in the tar, because it is tar, and just keep pushing through it. Oof. That is not ideal. These are pigs that are literally lighting me on fire. We're gonna hold place, which allows us to beat at the flames, and then rest up. Reload our gun. As you can imagine, I press the wrong button. As you can imagine, you do not want to be in the tar when someone lights you on fire, because the tar burns very hot. We're going to take the sun veil. What do we have on our head right now? Just a crimson hood? Oh, that's... Is the sun veil enough for your head? Oh, it goes on your face. 0, 1, and... I think it's better. Yeah, it gives you heat resistance, and gives me some reputation with the Isakari, which are pretty common out here in the desert. Something that I just noticed is that they added that little triangle whenever you hit something's armor, and they changed the sound slightly. It was an update that happened between last time I played this and this time. They actually update this game literally every week. Every Friday there's an update, with the only exceptions of being whenever they are on some sort of vacation. So this is still to this day a very actively updated game. And it's going to be coming out of early access. They got the developers or publishers of Dwarf Fortress, Kitfox Games, to assist them in publishing this game. Which means that there's some pretty people who are pretty competent with this genre helping them at this point, which gets a lot of hope that it is actually going to get done in the time frame that they're talking about. It's talking about coming out sometime next year. We'll go ahead and head down to the next level. As soon as we get out of this stuff, we're going to cook again, because I don't want to stay hungry. If I remember correctly, being hungry means that we get some debuffs. But on top of that, if we eat, not only do we not get those debuffs, but we actually get some positives for eating sometimes. Not every time, but sometimes. Okay, can we upgrade? We can upgrade regeneration. So one of my goals is to have 10 levels of regeneration before we go into Bethesda Susa. In fact, Bethesda Susa is the reason why I take regeneration. Because something happens when you get to specifically your 10th level of regeneration. It has an alternate effect. And it's a very... Oop, I need to reload. It's a very good alternate effect. And I am not going to... I'm going to jump away. I am actually taking damage from the smoke, I think I was. Yeah, you see how I'm just kind of like wasting slugs here. I think I got him. Yeah, I did. This tar burns for a very long time and will stay on fire for a very long time. And trust me, you do not want to go into it when it's on fire. He actually missed me. That's pretty rare. I don't see people missing with psychic abilities very often. Actually, technically, Flaming Ray isn't a psychic ability. It is a mutation, but it goes under physical mutations. I'm just going to try and save ammo and stab that guy. I am using my carbide, right? Yeah. Stab him to death. Because of the amount of quickness we have, in case I hadn't explained it previously, basically how it works is your quickness is up here, right? And every turn takes 100 points, essentially. And having 117 means that each turn I take, I get 117 instead of 100 points. And whenever I get to 100 points again, so basically I have 100 left over from the previous turns, because it saves that 17 between turns. Whenever I have 100 left over from the previous turns, I take an extra turn. At least as long as I have more than people around me. Like if I fight another person who has equal quickness, they'll also be generating their own extra turns, and it'll kind of balance out. So at 17, that means like basically every 5 turns, as long as I'm fighting something... Wow, that cool beast hit really hard. As long as I'm fighting something that's around the same speed as me, every 5 turns... So that is a dangerous creature. That is a humor. There are humors for almost every type of damage type, and that one is an acidic one. Basically, it is a... I mean, it's like a chaotic... It's like a chaotic deep sea creature that lives on the surface, but they're all elementals. So this one's acidic, and acid ones aren't as dangerous in my opinion. But look at that. I just took 19 damage. I'm actually going to immediately back off. And I don't want to anger that guy right there. There we go. He also exploded into acid, which would damage me as I touch it. See, the game doesn't even want me moving into acid as I move, because it's warning me. It's like, hey, you're about to move into a tile that's just going to straight up damage you. And I'm taking damage from the acid right now. Do I still have acid on me? Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, do a very bad science thing and clean all my acid off with water. So it was dilute for a second there, and then I moved away from it and moved out of it. But yeah, the acid will damage you every turn, and it also can disintegrate any items that you have that are, I say disintegratable by acid, but like most items are going to be capable of being disintegrated. How much ammo do I still have? 900. These guys aren't that hard, so we're just going to melee them. There's some harder stuff farther down here that I am going to be fighting in a moment. Also, I want to save my ammo for those guys because I know that they're going to get one flaming ray off on me. It's basically inevitable, but I don't want them to get more than one. Oh, thanks. That was very useful. Did I get him? Yeah, it dies. Okay. For the record, what I'm looking at is over on the right side here. You can see turn start and then something that happened. And I was basically looking for this blue EXP. It takes a little while to get used to reading that. But after a little while, you will, if you care to, start to spot things that are relevant to you, I guess I would say. There should have been a nearby items list. Oh, it's right there, but that's why I was having a hard time seeing it, because it blends into the top there. Also, whenever you're on Auto Explore, it'll pick up things that are obvious to pick up. Like, for example, right now it's picking up all the ammo that's on the ground here, because there is a bunch of ammo. Like, for example, that's ammo right there. They're shotgun shells. So I liked to, before I leave floors, if I know that there was a bunch of stuff on the ground, like ammo or scrap, I liked to just go around and pick up all the ammo and hit an Auto Explore once, which will pick up all the ammo before I actually move on. Especially early game here, because ammo isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world to get early game. At least until you get some merchants that you can kind of bounce between some merchants and buy a whole ton of it. Or ideally, you get the ability to craft it, which once you can start crafting it, then it's literally like, it goes from being a problem to not being a problem at all, almost like overnight. Because by the time you learn to craft it, most of the time, unless you get very lucky and you get that recipe very early, you will have a lot of ingredients to use. Man, this carbide is actually really good in melee range. I need to remember that, because it's consistently hitting with all 3 shots. And so, like, that was 3, 13, and 12, 2 crits. So that basically annihilated him. At the same time, these guys are a little bit weaker than us. You can tell because of how much EXP we're getting for killing them. So I probably don't need to be using my gun. I don't think I'm in a lot of danger here. At least not against these guys. Those guys could, even more so than even damaging us, they could break our armor and stuff like that. So I don't really want to let them get multiple fire rays off on me. I keep saying I shouldn't use my ammo, but then I keep hitting their armor, and it annoys me, so I just go ahead and use my ammo anyways, just because my gun has a lot of penetration to it. We do have a backup weapon, a long-range weapon. We have the energy bow, so it's not the worst thing in the world to use some ammo here. Especially because after this, we're going to be heading to the stilt. And the chance that we can find buying ammo there is very, very high. The cool thing about the stilt is that there's actually a marketplace around it, and the marketplace is random. So only the only parts of the stilt that are the same every time is the central tile and the bottom tile, like the bottom middle tile, will always be the same and has the same NPCs. But then there's this entire circle that goes around it that has random NPCs, and some of those random NPCs can be very good. I'm actually going to level here. Be really, really nice if I do. Probably going to head to Bethesda Susa as soon as I get level 10 regeneration. Hopefully by the time that happens, I will feel comfortable with going there. But I don't want to put it off too long. The kind of nice thing about this game is that if I were to pull it off, and if you're playing vanilla, I will say, people change this with modding quite often. But if I do try and just like grind, you will get to the point where enemies give you no experience, but you can still get stuff. Like I'm not actually outfitted for my level, right? I'm not wearing very good armor yet, or anything like that, and my weapons aren't that great, other than my carbine. So even though I wouldn't be getting a lot of experience, like if I, for example, explored around Joppa, I would get very little to no experience for killing most things, but I could still get scrap, I could still make money, and that might help me improve in other ways, other than just straight, the power that you get from leveling. And you do get straight power from leveling, because every so many levels, if you'll see, my attributes are just higher than they were before. Every so many levels, you actually get a +1 to all attributes. I just realized that I have unspent points. I think I'm just going to wait to buy Tinker level 1, to be honest. Whenever I hit level 1 Tinkering, they will actually give me a recipe, a random recipe from level 1 Tinkering. And it can be pretty good, so There's 3 crabs here. I'm just gonna shoot them. They just actually fits the bug that's been in the game. With the most recent patch, they fits the bug that's been in the game since I played it for the first time, so it's been in the game for like 2 years. And I'm very appreciative of it. There was this thing where if you hit something other than your target with a ranged weapon, it would decide that that's your target. So every time you press F again to fire your gun again, it would target that thing. And it was very annoying because like it wouldn't retarget very easily, right? And now they made it so that if you hit a target, whatever the last thing you hit is now. It just says that I passed by glowing bones, floating glow sphere, and a basic toolkit. Was it this? Was it this? That is actually what I'm looking for, but it's higher up now. Ancient bones. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm going to go farther down anyways, but this is actually what I was looking for. And I just got the recipe for a gem cell. So this is a floating glow sphere. We'll go ahead and auto-equip it. So there's actually this slot at the bottom called floating nearby. And now you'll notice that my vision range is much larger. It also means that people can see me from a distance. I was previously using night vision in order to see from a distance. But with this, I should be able to see a little bit better. For the sake of YouTube, I might try to play a little bit zoomed in. Hey, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Brings my regeneration straight to rank 11. What effective rank is it at? 8. So I still need to level so that the effective rank raises. Let's keep raising quickness, because quickness is very good. I'll probably max that out. And then, where is tactics? Tactics. Kit back. Hey, I can just go ahead and grab it. Cool. I was checking to see if I needed what attribute I needed the most of right now. So realistically, it looks like now that I have enough strength, I don't care about strength anymore, but I need eventually 29 intelligence, and I'll eventually need 25 agility. 29 agility. So I already have 21 agility. I think I'm going to go for intelligence first. It doesn't make me stronger in... I'm going to go for agility first, because this actually makes me stronger in combat. I'll grab intelligence next level. So that puts me up to +3. Agility, just straight 1-to-1, increases my dodge value, which is currently -10, but that's because I was stuck. It's actually 16. Also increases my accuracy and stuff like that. So it is a straight... that's a plasma grenade. That's a laser pistol. Nice. I'll sell the laser pistol for a lot. I'll replace the cell. Wait, what just happened? Apparently it had an acid cell in it, and the acid cell was... Oh, I disassembled it by accident. I'm gonna have to get used to that. I'll try and dilute the acid with some water. Play a little bit closer on YouTube because I normally like to play at this range so you can see everything, but it might be a little bit hard to read on YouTube. So we're going to try this and see if this is still playable. Because technically my vision range is only like right there anyways, right? How far is my vision range? I wish I could do a zoom level between those two. Is there a zoom option up here? Well, that helps a little bit. Let me check super fast. Status, targeting. As per classic roguelikes, there is a lot of keybinds, but I will say that you don't really need to memorize most of them. There's only kind of really a handful of ones that are super important. If people are interested, I wouldn't be terribly I wouldn't find it terribly disinteresting to make a tutorial for this, of like a beginner's tutorial, but I think there's some already out there, and they're likely going to be better than what I could do because they are probably from people who know how to play this game better. I'm more just doing this because I want to play this game, and maybe people are interested in watching me play this game. Um, there is not a way to do a middle zoom, I don't think. Yeah, because zoom in, zoom out is right there. I wish there's I was hoping to find a thing for just like a specific amount of zoom. Play area. Pixel perfect. Oh, so I could make it like this. That might help actually. So let's go to 2. There we go. So that means that I have my full vision range, but the game's still closer, and it makes the game very sharp. Okay, I'm glad we found that because that might make the game far more enjoyable to watch. Kind of sad that I didn't find these things earlier, but I am not a professional YouTuber yet. Working on it, but not yet. Are these the same kind of guys? They're still easy. Oh, we were in the middle of leveling. We're going to go ahead and grab Tinkering level 1, like I said earlier. And then how many points do we have left over? All of these are not great, so I'll just take Lego Gold. It also allows us to recharge now. And I hate to go back into it right away, but I need to find out what... There's a keybind for recharge that just recently got added, so I can recharge things that are still in guns. And I wanna be able to directly recharge. Okay, it's not showing it for me here. So Control R should allow me to recharge. Control R? Shift R. Alt R. It says Control R. Let's just do this. So I'm going to bind this and say Control R. It's already bound to replace energy cells. No. So let's say R. That's bound to reload. So let's say 5. Yeah. So I can recharge cells that are even currently in items. That'll be really useful later because I'm going to probably be using chem-powered or cell-powered stuff quite often. And what that did was, if you come over to here, I have this bit locker here. It used a little bit of one of these bits in order to do it. I think it uses A bits. Yeah. So those are the most common ones. And it's why once we get a little bit farther in the game and we find a good one, like a laser rifle or something like that, we're going to be probably... Oh, I didn't even see this guy. What is he? What is he? Sparking. Okay, that's not the worst one in the world. We're going to fight him once here. Oh, I just realized. Do we have enough skill points? We do. We do. We're going to go ahead and learn kickback real quick. And then we're going to leave tactics open because we're going to buy something from it soon. We can close short blade, close bone rifle. So we remember that we're looking for something from tactics. We also want to look for something from wayfaring as well. Actually, we already have Mind's Compass, so we can close that. Did he ignore it? Oh, you see, it says over here, you catch the oleo humor, but it holds its ground. There we go. Those things. Are dangerous. Kickback is very valuable. It lets us maintain a healthy distance with melee enemies, which are honestly a lot of the enemies, and lets us get another shot off on them. I don't know if you've noticed, but it seems pretty noticeable to me that my accuracy has gone up. What is that? Oh, it's just a Vine Reaper. Vine Reaper is basically like a sickle. People use them to reap vines. Oh, I'm standing in tar. Don't do that. I need to put myself out. I think what happened there is... Oh yeah, I am actually tarred right now. So they're setting me on fire, and then the tar that is already on my body is lighting on fire. So I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, I'm going to... I erupt into flames. Well, that's a little unfortunate. Okay, we're going to try again, and we're going to use a salve injector. This is actually a bad idea, because using injectors back to back... Oh, we got so lucky. Reload our gun. What is that? Is that just bloody? Okay. I was worried because it was red that it was another type of creature. Smoothing tingle fades. Means that our healing has fallen off. But it's okay. We got rid of the dangerous thing. How are we doing on slugs? 600 of them. Whew. That could have almost been the death of me there. So yeah, don't get lit on fire while you have tar on you. It's pretty bad. My character was just hurting themselves trying to put out the flames. Honestly, for a dodge character, this area is a little very dangerous for us as well, just because every time we end up in the tar, cook real quick. Every time we end up in the tar, we lose most of our dodge. In fact, we don't lose most. We lose all of our dodge value. I actually don't care at all about losing my guns now, because I can make chem cells, and I can also recharge them. Did we find an exit? I think we did. Okay, now that I have this going, I might turn on the mini-map and jump over the tar. So I can try to see what's going on outside of my range of view here. Yeah, if I do run out of ammo, I will probably just switch to my energy bow. I'm going to go ahead and switch targets to this guy right away. Managed to kill him off before he ever got to me. I was hoping to find the lower levels of this place, but I might just have to leave, because I'm spending way more time here than I expected to. The lower levels are pretty interesting. And it used to be, at least that's what I thought it used to be, where the glow sphere, because that glow sphere is actually always in here somewhere. And it's a good way to get an early glow sphere, because if you didn't have night vision, you'd actually have to be wasting a hand slot holding a torch, and the torches go out over time and stuff like that. So the floating glow sphere is a really good early find, and even if you don't need it, it's worth selling. Yeah, look at that mini-map right up here in the top right corner. That actually is pretty useful for this zoom level. I've never found the mini-map useful before because I never zoomed in before, but it's pretty good for this zoom level. Oh, that was cool. There was actually like a little animation there where the crab disintegrated. That was very nice. I don't know why it said there's nothing to take. I didn't try and take anything. Probably because I'm using space instead of just tapping F. I can just double tap F to fire my gun. It's a little bit faster. I probably should be doing that anyways. Okay, these guys don't get me a lot of experience. You see now, whenever we first got here, they were giving me like 300 some. Now those crabs are getting me like 17. I'm literally 10 levels deep and I still haven't found what I'm looking for. There's a chance that it's legitimately not here anymore. And that I am just searching for no reason. At the same time, I don't want to like give up and then find out later that whenever it got changed, or maybe just like my iteration of this, you know, I was like one floor off or something like that. Oh, hey, that's a good way to know. So you can look something and then disassemble. I can use look nearby in order to pick up nearby items. I'll go ahead and, instead of clearing the floor, head farther down. Jump out of the way of that. I feel bad using all my ammo on these guys to some degree, because my ammo is useful, but they have such high armor that I can barely ever penetrate them with my melee weapon, because I have like no strength. So strength is part of the penetration equation. Not 100% sure how the penetration equation works, because if you go and look at it on the wiki, it's pretty complex. But without enough strength, it's hard to get through these guys' armor. And I really just don't... oh my gosh. I just don't want to spend a lot of time here. We might make this one a little bit longer just because of how much time I have wasted in these taverns. Okay, you know what? I'm calling it. We're going to go ahead and make a beeline for the surface. Go ahead and grab this stuff and make a beeline for the surface. We are going to head to the stilt, finish our pilgrimage, and we will end the episode there. Because although the lower levels of this place are pretty cool, just to give you a little bit of a teaser of it, it is like legitimately like a volcano that exploring here. That's why all these top levels are tar, and the lower levels are a lot more indicative of it being a volcano. Okay, I am up here. So we're going to head to the stilt. We have made the pilgrimage, the Sitse, so oh glorious Shikana. So this is the stilt. Can't see a lot of it right now, but one person we're going to want to talk to right away is this guy over here, Zapur, disciple of the coiled lamb. Peace and health in the light of the star, pilgrim. Brood with me on the light of Reshef, and if you are willing. And we can tell him all of the secrets of Reshef we've gotten to delete is accept. That's weird. Get a crazy amount of experience. We also want to begin the water ritual with him because the cult of the Toil Lamb is just cool, and he might teach me first aid later. And then there, inside of here, there's actually a statue of Reshef and the Coiled Land with the Beetles. One starry evening, a babe was found swaddled with its mouth full of circuits by a group of Beetles in Red Rock. They took him into their fold and fostered him, and he became known as Reshef, the Coiled Lamb of the Beetles. Which tells you kind of one of the start stories. I think I can share that with him as well. And each time you share a story, by the way, no matter what order you do it in, they give more experience than the previous one. So that actually just straight up leveled me, sharing all those stories with him. Do I even have shoes on? I do. Okay. Mutation point. We'll go for more heightened witness. Now it's 31, so that's approximately every third of a turn that we're getting that now. We're going to take the ability to repair, I think, next. Is there anything we can get in bow and rifle? I mean, we could get surefire, but I might have to look up some of those at some point, see if I'm just kind of doing them wrong or something. Just double checking. So this would be pretty good because we'll attack twice as often in melee, but we're actually not meleeing that often. So we're going to go ahead and grab repair. Because if we're fighting something that has like acid or something like that and it destroys the rifle that we're using, we will be more than a little screwed. So we're going to take the ability to repair things so that that doesn't happen. It also lets us repair things out in the wild. I'm going to go ahead and learn these because I forgot to. We now have liquid cooled. We can't learn that, but we can learn chem cell. Which means that we can actually take apart some of these chem cells now because we can recharge them. The reason I was collecting them is because whenever we couldn't recharge them, we just needed a bunch of them. We'll keep the laser gun to sell because it's a pistol, not a rifle. Wow, we spent like nearly 1,000 shots. And then it'll come in here, eat from their stone oven, and talk to this guy. Lilyheart, Hindran Pariah. Hold a moment, friend. Are you looking for work? Sure, I am. Lovely. Take a seat. Chew the bark with me, and I will tell you what I know. I'm actually not going to read this guy out, but basically this guy is actually going to give us a quest to come and go to Baylaw, which is a town nearby that has a bit of a murder mystery thing going on with it. And we'll talk more heavily about it next time. But this is It Stay Stilt. Every NPC in here is going to be friendly, even if they are, like, for example, a glow white, because they're mechanimist converts. The shops here are random, and off to the right and left, there is going to be these paths that you can see that will lead through the rest of the Sit Stay Stilt and lead you to other parts of this place. But up here is the main temple. Down the center is come on, let me show it, is a sacred well, they call it, which is basically a hole that you can throw technology into. And throwing technology into that hole, throwing technology into that hole gets you a whole bunch of reputation with this faction because they believe in throwing away technology. So like I can throw that in, for example. And I increase the reputation with them. So what you can do if you want to do this quest differently is you can come here, get a whole bunch of reputation with these people, and then whenever you get to the bottom Bethesda Susa, you don't get murdered by entering one of their temples. There's also a librarian here where you can donate books to the cathedral library, and every time you donate a book, they will actually give you a bunch of experience. There's some other stuff around here, but none of it is terribly, like, there's just some lore stuff around here, I guess I'll say. And then you actually have the high priest of the Stilt, which is the high priest of their faction, and you can do the water ritual with them, which immediately gives you 100 reputation from the mechanimists. He will also teach you proselytize, which is a hilarious ability. Basically allows you to force people to be your companions in battle. And you can command them around. There's also a warden out here that you should talk to, Warden Esther. You should definitely have a full conversation with him. He's actually fantastic, and he talks about this place, and he's just really funny. He has some nice dialogue. Maybe not funny, but like has some really nice dialogue. But I actually want to get good with the wardens, so I'm going to tell him as many secrets as I can that he cares about, and then, ooh, he didn't teach me shield. So I could go main hand dagger, offhand shield, and there's some shields later. Oh, I forgot that I got the quest to get stops Valen. I should have gone for that. But yeah, there's some shields that are pretty good. So I'm gonna take shield, which does burn up my reputation with them. It cost me 100 reputation, but getting reputation with the wardens isn't the hardest thing in the world. Um, and having a free skill and getting a free skill for some free skill points there is pretty good. So that gets me good at shields, and I also have a better block chance now. So whenever I get stops Valen, which is a small shield, I'll switch to having a main hand knife and then an offhand shield, and it'll make it a little bit, let's say, less dangerous for me to be in melee. But that has been Caves of Qud. I have been Arima. I hope you guys are enjoying the episode, and if you do watch through all the way to the end, please feel free to like, subscribe, etc., to make sure that you're letting me know that you're enjoying the series. And if people do, like these episodes, at least like, you don't have to subscribe or comment to show me that you're liking it. That's just nice for me because it helps the channel grow. But if people do like it, even if I get only like 1 or 2 likes, I'll probably continue uploading it, uploading my playthrough here, because this is easily one of my favorite games. It is in like my top 10 favorite games of all time. And I would like to upload an entire playthrough of it. Um, but I might stop uploading for the sake of other more popular games if people aren't watching it, for example. So yeah, let me know. And hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.